certainly Kennedy Prince is one of the prime names on that list for the Hurricanes. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, is expected to have its full roster available this evening. The other three unavailable for Miami are Amanda Falk, Noelle Piatis, and Daphne Mall. Again, no specific reasons on those four, but you will not see them in the home black uniforms for the Hurricanes tonight. Janice Leal, the sophomore middle blocker from New Bedford, Massachusetts, will get the 2020 volleyball season started for the Hurricanes and the Yellow Jackets. Dumped over the net, Bach is there. The other end dug back out. And the first point of the season goes to the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and with the absence of Kennedy Prince, like you said, now we get to see freshman Angela Grieve. Last year, obviously we know she was out due to an injury, and we're going to see her tonight taking some big swings.
Liao back to serve again. The set, the swing, the kill. Looked like that was Brambilla. And if we're a bit late on any calls tonight, folks, you know, we are off-site. COVID protocols. We are actually down the street on Santa Mauro Drive in the baseball press box at Mark Light Field. So we are calling it off the same monitor that you're watching from home. And a miss hit there from Julia Bergman. Miami will take the point and service. Volley, one of the better servers on this Miami roster, senior from Orem, Utah, is back behind the line for the Hurricanes. Now, big jump serve.
Yeah, and her serve right there, just getting Georgia Tech out of system, and that's what they're going to want. It's not necessarily about total aces, but she did lead the team in that category last year.
Take a look at some of the match protocols here at the James L. Knight Sports Complex. As you see, there are no fans there. Everyone who is in the facility has an exact purpose to be there. A lot of sanitation protocols, and University of Miami and everyone else across the ACC doing everything it can to keep the players and coaches safe. Vach at the net. Here's Hernandez. Swing from Grieve is blocked.
Net violation, Georgia
Tech. Go to the Hurricanes.
Yeah, looked like Georgia Tech was called in the net there on that play.
Take another look.
Yeah, Michaela Dowd with the transition swing.
Serve goes long, point to the Yellow Jackets. 4-2 Hurricanes in the early going if you're just joining us.
And sometimes a miss like that is okay. You know, Colleen Yaballo, she's going to take that big, aggressive swing on that serve. And again, you know, they want her to be aggressive. They want to get the Yellow Jackets out of system. So we're going to see that, and sometimes those errors are going to happen.
Nice swing and a kill there from the freshman Lauren Tarnoff in her first collegiate match. Freshman middle blocker out of Huntington, California. Lone freshman in the starting lineup for either side. Two freshmen.
Yeah, and talking to Coach yesterday, you know, she's really had a great training camp coming in and really needing to make an impact on this roster early.
And there was Miami star freshman a year ago, Savannah Vach. More known for her passing skills, but shows she can get it done at the net as well. And the Hurricanes have gone off to a nice start here, Kelly.
Yeah, starting off early and really getting a jump on the Jackets, and that's exactly what they want to do. You know, again, when it's early, these teams haven't played. This is their first match of the season. You want to take every advantage you can.
Michaela Dowd, another All-ACC performer, might not have been in that trio that we first mentioned, Kelly, but this is actually a team that had 6 All-ACC players last year, and 5 of them have returned. You see one there in Mariana Brambilla.
And that's what's so amazing about Georgia Tech is, yeah, you can single out a couple players, but really all of them have their own accolades after the season performance that they had last year.
Fantastic dig from Laborda, but it's for naught as Miami comes away with the point. Elisaveta Lukianova with the kill.
Yeah, it looks like she caught the split on the block there, right through that seam, and really just found that hole and was able to drive it down.
Certainly helps when you're 6'6", 6'7".
That's, of course, always a bonus, yep.
Hernandez back to serve now for the Hurricanes from a Miami family, one of several Hernandezes to play sports at the U. She sets Lukianova, and the redshirt senior has another kill.
And really that play there was all set up by the serve. Everything happened so fast in volleyball, but really McKissick, the setter for Georgia Tech, the only option she had was to throw that ball right back over the net, which created a great transition play for Miami and eventually giving that ball to Lukianova for the score.
Bergman comes in to return the serve. A block at the net by Liao, but it went out of bounds, point to Georgia Tech. Kill goes to Michaela Dowd.
Yeah, Michaela Dowd, such a physical swinger, and really anytime Vach is in the front row, she's got some size herself and a decent jump, but Georgia Tech is going to want to take advantage of that, having a little bit of a smaller block in the setter.
Well, I don't know if that's exactly what Miami was trying to do there offensively. When you get the point, you'll certainly take it. Another kill for Lukianova. She's off to a heck of a start. Vach will serve now. The set goes to Bergman. Her swing is returned. Lukianova the other way. Dug out. Bergman again, and she earns the point on her second attempt.
And Bergman there, she wasn't really in a great position to take a big swing. So what we saw there was really just that off-speed shot. She was able to get on top of the ball and really just find the center of the court on the Miami side.
Laborda back to serve. Goes to Hernandez. Here's Lukianova from the other side. Tack on another kill for Elizaveta Lukianova.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a blocking miscue there with Georgia Tech. I think they didn't cover all the way to the line. It looked like assistant coach Claudio Pinero was kind of saying, hey, where were you guys? Where was the block? But Lukianova taking advantage there. Still a little bit unsure of the call. Bergman definitely wants a touch. Yep, but that was ruled out of bounds, so that'll be the Miami ball.
11-5 Hurricanes. Swing from the back row and a kill for Mariana Brambilla. I've called her name a lot early.
Yeah, they're going to want to get her involved as much as they can. And really, Georgia Tech has a balanced offense, but we haven't seen that as much tonight so far, at least early in this set. But they're going to utilize her on all areas of the court. You'll see her also swing on the left and right pin as well.
McKissick will serve for the Jackets, who trail by 5 early in set 1. Vach, Emily Damon with the set there. She is in for the Hurricanes, and a kill for the freshman Lauren Tarnoff.
That was actually Angela Grieve, yep, the freshman, yeah, right down the line, and she's done that now earlier tonight as well. Again, seeing the freshman taking those few early swings, they've been aggressive, and if she's able to maintain that, she's going to be a big player for Miami this season.
Angela Grieve, indeed, redshirted last year due to injury and in the starting lineup today. And there's Kalaniu Valu. Can I blame that on them both having 4s in their jerseys and looking on a screen, or do I get a pass early?
No, you definitely can.
At what point do I no longer? Can we determine that now? What point in the match I no longer get a pass on that?
Yeah, well, maybe by like set 3.
Okay,
yeah,
I think that's reasonable.
You get a pass early, but then.
Well, Georgia Tech takes a timeout, and we will take a quick break here at the night. Miami 13, Georgia Tech 6 on ACC Network. Welcome back to the James L. Knight Sports Complex. The Miami Hurricanes off to a strong start against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, a 13-6 edge against the team that was picked 3rd in the ACC. Janice Liao will serve for the Hurricanes, and she puts it into the net. First service error of the night. Some of the keys for Jose Keno Gondara's squad tonight.
And really one of the big ones we're seeing Miami execute it now is them serving and their ability to handle the serve. They want to serve aggressive. They want to keep Georgia Tech out of offense, which they're doing that now, which is why we're seeing the score separation.
14-7 Miami. It's Tarnoff. One of 3 freshmen from California is Tarnoff. This is a team with some major California ties. Both assistant coaches are from California, and head coach Jose Cano-Gondra went to college in California. So Miami has mined the Golden State, which is a talent-rich state, of course, for players, especially in its freshman class. Angela Grieve. And it's a kill for Michaela Dowd. Again, talking about the keys to success tonight, and Kelly talked some to Jose Cano-Gondra the other night, and he mentioned a few of these.
Yeah, and strength of the serve, we talked about earlier. That's exactly what Miami's doing right now, and just recognizing play. So Georgia Tech has a really balanced offense, but right now, because they're out of system so much, we're not seeing that as much, and that's creating a much easier situation for the Miami defense.
Georgia Tech starting to slowly chip away. Michaela Dowd off to a strong start. Junior from Naperville, Illinois. From an athletic family, her brother, Joe Jones, is an inside linebacker for the Denver Broncos. Serve from Kayla Kaiser, another one of those all-ACC performers for the Jackets. Block at the net. It was Mariana Brambilla and Aaron Moss up there for Michelle Collier's squad.
Yeah, and their keys to success there, a big one for me.
Maybe there'll be one in the spring. It's an ever-evolving situation, but regardless, no matter what it is, she wants her players focused on what they can achieve, not that they won't have the opportunity to play for one this fall.
Yeah, exactly. One of the keys, right? Control the controllables, and that's going to be one of them in terms of you don't really know what could happen at any given point, so you have to control day by day what you can, and everything else, you just have to let it be.
14-12 Miami, as Angela Grieve getting some medical attention from athletic trainer Simona Latino. See what happened there.
Yeah, and that's kind of a common injury, probably a good gym burn, maybe a little bit bloody that she's got to get taped up, but honestly, that's a good motion in terms of digging when you really want to get your hands underneath the ball. But in serve receive, she'd want to move her feet a little bit earlier to react to that serve. But again, yeah, she'll probably need that taped up for a while now, because that's going to be one of those nagging things that continues to happen unless you take care of it.
This the first collegiate match for the redshirt freshman. Grieve missed all of 2019 with a broken bone in her foot. 3-year team captain at South Fork High School up in Palm Beach County. Had over 1,200 kills.
I got to correct you there. That's in Martin County.
Martin County.
My hometown, yep.
I apologize. A native of Palm Beach County.
Yes.
Jupiter native. Here is a swing from Grieve. Nice job by Georgia Tech, but unable to get it over the net. It looked like Brambilla might be able to save it, but Grieve picks up yet another kill.
Yeah, she's really having a great night so far, not knowing, at least from our side, what she was capable of. Obviously, the Miami coaching staff knew exactly what she was capable of coming in, but having her opening freshman campaign and having to go right into a conference match, so already having jitters as a freshman, but then having to go right into a big match in ACC play and really showing what she's able to do.
Well, Cano-Gondra, I was very excited about her. Complete, well-rounded 6-rotation outside hitter is what he described her as. Felt she had a great training camp. And that's how she earns that starting nod on opening night. Of course, she is probably the player you'd think who has filled in for Kennedy Prince in her absence. Prince, the sophomore outside hitter, again, one of Miami's unavailables tonight. A swing and a kill for Erin Moss.
Aaron Moss with a quick tempo behind the setter. Really almost seemed to catch the Miami block a little bit off guard. You see Lukianova, she jumps, but she's late. Obviously, the Miami middle was going with her slightly, but a great play for Georgia Tech, especially just clawing right back into the set point by point.
Point to the Hurricanes. And speaking of Aaron Moss, by the way, if you want to talk about players who are trying to fill big shoes, Aaron Moss is exactly one of those who had that prior kill for Georgia Tech. She's trying to replace Cody Comby. Couldn't quite get to the ball there on the block, but Cody Comby last year set the Georgia Tech record and led the ACC in hitting percentage. All ACC performer, and Moss will be the first player to try to fill her shoes. Lukianova with another kill. Moss couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, and it'll be a little bit of a learning curve for Moss. As you said, she is young. She's still a sophomore, but man, can the girl jump. She touches 10.6.5, which is the highest on the Georgia Tech team. So she has the jump. She has the length to be able to get to those balls. She might have to improve her speed a little bit laterally, but it looks like she could have a bright future for Georgia Tech.
For my jump, you got to flip those numbers. It's 6'10".
I think for me too, probably.
Priscilla Hernandez will serve for the Hurricanes, the libero, as associate head coach Casey Kreider is trying to get something figured out with the officials. Swing from the corner from Dowd, and she gets the point from the pin.
And that's a big swing for Dowd. Not just, of course, getting the point is always going to be a bonus, but really Georgia Tech again out of system off Hernandez's serve, and it's going to be so important for them to manage that pass, and that's what we were seeing early on. Miami's continuing to hold the edge just because Georgia Tech can't stay in system.
And once again, it's Lukianova, two-time second-team All-ACC performer. Let's get another look here.
Yeah, the ball actually was a little bit left inside, and that's why you saw that ball tape the net as she went cross-court, but because Miami's block went all the way out and didn't stop short at the ball where the ball was, she was able to get the point off it anyway.
Looks like that was just touched, and it's a kill for Erin Moss. She comes out. Gets some advice from Ariel Wilson, the Georgia Tech assistant coach. Paula Liberdo from San Juan, Puerto Rico will serve, and it's way long.
And if you want to get some advice, getting it from Ariel Wilson is definitely going to be one of the coaches you want to. She's a 4-time national champion at Penn State. I talk about it all the time. One of my good friends, also Alyssa DeRico, was a 4-time Penn State national champion herself, teammates with Ariel Wilson. And I just say, I can't imagine what it feels like to not know how to win.
Yeah,
like,
right.
All they do is win championships. So they don't even know how to not win a national championship. So if you're going to get advice, Ariel Wilson's definitely the person to go to.
Bergman just missed wide, and the point goes to the Hurricanes.
And that's been something we've seen from Bergman, which I feel like is a little uncharacteristic watching her last year during her freshman campaign. She's missed down the line. That's at least twice so far in this first set. It looks like she just really wants to get the...
We're at the James L. Knight Sports Complex. Again, the Hurricanes were picked tied for 8th in the preseason poll alongside Boston College. Georgia Tech was tabbed 3rd, just 3 points behind Louisville for 2nd place. Miami closing in on the first set, but still a lot of work to do. Swing from Bergman, partially blocked by Liao. Vox sets Liao, and she's got herself a kill.
And you can see still that Georgia Tech is just out of sorts on that first ball contact, and that's kind of what is creating a lot of the miscommunications and transition because they're not getting that initial good swing that they want on that first ball, and you see a substitution coming here. But, you know, Miami serve, and that's one of the keys to this match for them is really being able to manage that. They want to stay aggressive. They want to keep Georgia Tech out of system, and they're doing that so far and have a 6-point lead because of it.
Serve goes to Bergman. Laborda sets her. Cross court, kill.
And that is a big swing again. Coming from out of system, you don't want your libero on that first ball have to be the one that steps in to deliver you the ball. But Bergman kind of taking a little bit of anger, it seemed like, out on that ball, especially, you know, she's had a couple errors so far in this first set. That is a big swing that is sharp cross court, and that's something that can pull the momentum back towards Georgia Tech.
There's Liao inching Miami closer to this first set. And she's a player last year who was thrust into action because of injuries for the Hurricanes, and you just saw her improvement throughout the year. And one thing that seemed to come along a bit slowly was that swing, and it looks a lot more clean and fluid this year than it did during her freshman campaign.
Yeah, and she's really developed more range. She's able to go both directions, meaning left and right on either side of that blocker, and that's something that's going to make it more difficult for opponents to defend her, and she's going to have some success doing that.
Miscue for Georgia Tech as Kayla Kaiser missed on her swing, and the Hurricanes are 2 points away from what would be a dominant first set. Liao to serve. Goes to Laborda. Dumped over. Grieve with a swing. A block at the net, but Tarnoff couldn't get back over. And it's a point for Georgia Tech, 23-17. Jackets continue to fight.
Brambilla just really being aggressive with that swing. Honestly, I don't know, from the coaching perspective that I would say that that was a very smart swing. She really just seemed to muscle it in the block and almost just get lucky. Again, Georgia Tech's just really trying to manufacture points as they can right now.
Vach, Hernandez, Grieve, cross court, finds the corner. How about that from the redshirt freshman?
Yeah, a little bit deep and off speed. Definitely caught Georgia Tech off guard a little bit. She got under the ball and really just hit that back corner, which even if you're in the correct defensive position, that spot is going to be really difficult to defend, that little box back there in the corner.
Miami's got 7 chances at a match point. Kalaniu Valu had 32 aces last year, back for the Hurricanes now. There is Kalaniu Valu now. Grieve trying to put it away. She cannot. McKissick, it's blocked by Grieve off the swing from Brambilla, and Miami in impressive fashion grabs the first set over Georgia Tech, 25-17. Heck of a job from the Hurricanes. We'll take a quick break. We'll talk all about it when we come back on ACC Network. Stick with us. 16-11 in favor of the Hurricanes, but interestingly, Georgia Tech actually has a 7-6 edge on the road. Miami's won 9 of the last 12 in total, but has dropped 3 of the past 5. Kind of a cyclical back and forth series that dates back to October 2004. And we are underway in set 2 with the serve going to Priscilla Hernandez. Angela Grieve once again, cross-court kill.
Yeah, it's a big swing there. Again, finding the split of the block. There seems to be a lot of miscommunication going on with Georgia Tech, and Grieve is one of those athletes. They certainly didn't have the chance to study her before arrival, being a freshman, being the first match of the season. But we're seeing a lot of miscues offensively and defensively right now for Georgia Tech.
Bergman with a kill the other way for Georgia Tech.
And that's the swing that's expected, and you can see the big embrace from her teammates trying to give her a little bit of encouragement. Again, you can't have what might be your best match all the time, and hopefully maybe that was just a little bit of an offset, and her teammates are just trying to get her going, knowing that they need Bergman's arm to be able to win this match.
There's a kill from Lauren Tarnoff, and now that we've got some stats up and running, give you a few that we got a quick break here. Elizaveta Lukianova, whom we mentioned, was so strong in that first set. 9 swings, 7 kills, hit 778 for the Hurricanes. The other way, Miami was able to really handle Julia Bergman. 10 swings, 3 kills, 2 errors, hitting 100. If Miami can keep those numbers the same each way for Lukianova and Bergman, got to feel good about its chances. But a long way to go.
Yeah, and coming in, those were really going to be the players that we're going to obviously talk a lot about. And there's so many great players on both teams, but the size and the ability of both those players, of Bergman and Lukianova, are really going to play out. And if we're seeing the opposite ends of the spectrum, that's what's also going to reflect in the score.
Brambilla dumps it over. Swing for Grieve, and man, she had a heck of a debut early. Angela Grieve stepping into the shoes that she has to fill with Kennedy Prince not playing, has never played in a collegiate match, and she looks more than comfortable out there.
Yeah, and that's her 6th kill of the night, and really just being aggressive on all facets. I mean, we've seen her, she's able to turn down the line right there. She was even a little bit over the block, just went a little bit high. We can see her inside as well. She's really showing and proving herself to be a complete player.
Service error for Kalaniu Valu. Along with those 6 kills, Grieve has a couple digs and a block. She's hitting .357. Quite the debut early for the Jupiter native. The city, not the planet, of course. I mean, when we get to players from other planets playing college volleyball, that's a long way away.
Hey, in the COVID era, anything can happen.
That's true.
Right?
It is 2020, right? If there was a year where someone from Jupiter was playing college athletics, it would be this year. Kalaniu Valu with the kill. Let's see it again.
Yep, just getting her involved from the back row there. It seemed to catch maybe everybody a little bit off guard, certainly on the Georgia Tech side. But, even Miami, I don't know that they utilize that a whole lot. And again, Vach not even using her hands there, just using her platform. But again, if you're going to be able to score points off of it, then it's going to be a good thing.
Grieve back to serve now. Another player on this Miami roster from an athletic family. Her father, Dan, played baseball at Southern Miss. She serves Bergman. Swing from Dowd, cross court wide.
And there you still see, you can look at Dowd, and of course we see an attacking error there, but for me it still all starts from the pass. You saw Bergman, she's struggling a little bit on the pass. We had McKissick on the run, which pushed that set outside a little bit of Dowd's range, and Dowd still, wanting to be aggressive and taking a swing, and that's what's creating some of those errors.
Point for Georgia Tech, 6-3 now. And by the way, we should mention it's a different libero for the Yellow Jackets in set 2. It was Paulo Laborda in the first set, and now it's Maddie Tippett, the junior from Atlanta, donning the blue libero jersey.
Yeah, Coach Collier, I think, just wanting to address, again, some of the first contact issues and seeing if making an adjustment would really change anything. And, Tippett maybe a little bit more high energy, just bringing anything she can to the team right now.
Michelle Collier confused by that call from the officials. But the point will go to the Hurricanes, and Hernandez will return to serve. 7-3 Miami, set 2. Big swing and a block. It was Janice Liao.
Yeah, Liao was right there, camped out all day. We saw Moss go behind earlier, but today, for this set right here, this tempo set, she just stayed right in front, and Liao didn't even have to move. She was right there, straight up and down. She's 6'3", so she's got a nice long frame and was just able to put that ball back on Georgia Tech's side.
Collier going to have a chat with her junior setter from Orlando, the reigning ACC setter of the year. And we will take a quick break here on ACC Network as the Jackets take a timeout. Miami 8, Georgia Tech 3, set 2 at the U. Hurricanes over the visiting Yellow Jackets in set 2 at the James L. Knight Sports Complex. Alex Schwartz and Kelly Cernsey coming to you live on ACC Network. Hurricanes took the first set 25-17. Hernandez serves Bergman, swing from Michaela Dowd. It touched a hand, so even though it goes long, the point will go to the Jackets.
Yeah, and that's a good, smart swing by Michaela Dowd. Again, just wanting to get Georgia Tech into this set and not create, what happened in the first set and really allowing to Miami to get ahead too much, just taking a good high swing off the hands of the Miami block.
Dowd will now go back to serve. Can't quite come up with that ball. Can Tippett get it over the net? She cannot. It's a point for Miami.
Good hustle from the Georgia Tech side. There's a chance there. I was impressed by the hustle. Tippett almost able to get that over, but great slide attack from Janice Liao, showing, again, some range. She can stay in front of the setter. She can go behind. And, as much as she can do that and maybe get out to that pin, that Georgia Tech is struggling a little bit in all facets of the game, but we're going to see Liao have some success on that pin.
Janice Liao with the block here. Looks like actually it might have been Janet Kalaniu-Valu.
Yeah, it looked like, it looked like she might have gotten a little more piece, but Liao gets some credit too for getting out there.
Swing from the back row and a kill from McKissick. Beg your pardon, from Mariana Brambilla.
Yeah, Brambilla is going to, again, they're going to get her involved everywhere. So they're going to include her in the back row. You're going to see her from the left pin and the right pin. But they're catching a little split in the Miami block if they're going to be able to utilize that back row attack. And you see just every point that Georgia Tech is able to earn right now. You're just seeing the team really just try to encourage each other, come together, and just get anything going. You got to remember, too, they are playing in a completely empty gym. Anybody that you see in the gym right now, they're working. So they're not necessarily cheering for for either side. So it is a completely quiet gym, other than the encouragement that these the players on the bench and their teammates have for them. So they're just trying to manufacture anything right now.
What a play by Maddie Tippett, and it leads to a kill for Julia Bergman, but that was all Tippett, the junior from Atlanta. What a play.
Yeah, it's a great play, and Bergman, of course, is all smiles after that big swing, and her teammates, too, just getting a ton. Again, that energy, that momentum, if they can just feed off of each other to claw back into this set.
Liao tips it over. Swing from the back row. Vach digs it out. Hernandez to Grieve. Dig from Tippett. Bergman with the tip. Lukianova's there. Back and forth we go. Vach, Lukianova. Nice dig from the Jackets. Longest rally of the night so far, and Janice Liao ends it, but pushes it wide, and Georgia Tech gets the point.
Yeah, Miami players really think that one was in. It might have been close. We can see here on the replay, it's a hard angle to tell for sure. Of course, Georgia Tech claims that it's out, and Miami claims that it's in. But I love seeing the matchup. If you look at the far pin on your screen right now, we've got Bergman and Lukianova. Again, we've got 6'6", 6'5", battling it out, going after each other, and we're seeing a lot of tips rather than swings, just because there's so much size. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to see throughout this set.
To give you an idea of how imposing Lukianova is physically at 6'6", and she might be more like 6'7", there's only 11 athletes on Miami's campus, regardless of sport, who are the same height as her. 7 of them are on the men's basketball team, and 3 of them are offensive linemen. So she is an imposing physical presence at the net, and she's a heck of a player, too.
You can probably pick her out pretty easy on campus, I bet.
That's for sure. Looks like she's going to go back to serve now. This is not something that she did a lot of last season, but coaching staff showing some faith in her in the early going. She's one of just 2 players on Miami's roster to play all 196 sets over the last 2 years. Emily Damon, the junior DS, is the other. Grieve. Maybe she touched the net. Double touch.
Yeah, and it looked like after that Grieve pop.
McKissick will serve. 19 aces as a sophomore a year ago. Tippett gets a hand on the ball. McKissick runs it down, and Dowd knocks it over the net. Nice recovery by the Jackets. And Liao with the kill.
And back-to-back swings from Liao. And both, we're seeing her kind of come into her own here a little bit, just having to manufacture points. The first ball going behind the setter, and Georgia Tech did a nice job defensively of bringing that ball back. But getting her involved again, and that's going to be really important for Miami, keeping the offense balanced. We know Lukianova is going to get a lot of swings. We know Colony Avalu is going to get a ton of swings, but the more that they can get the ball to their middles, it's going to keep the defense spread out. We see Bergman just go off speed a little bit. That is a super smart shot for the sophomore. And again, maybe not having her most dominant night and just really trying to do a little bit more ball placement and kind of find her groove here early. But we see her there with the missed serve.
Service error for Bergman. You see her, she is a native of Munich, Germany, but went to high school in Brazil. She's one of 2 Brazilians on this roster, along with Brambilla, who are 2 of the stars for this team. And it makes sense that Georgia Tech is mining Brazil, as Coach Collier is a native of Brazil.
And it's an interesting story there, because the Georgia Tech coaching staff, they weren't even actually recruiting Bergman. They happened to be recruiting Bambilla, and they just happened to see Bergman on film and said, hey, who's this 6'5" kid? We need to get her here too. And there you go. You've got another yellow jacket. And of course, they were successful in recruiting both players, and both have been keys to the turnaround for this Georgia Tech program.
It's nice when you don't know who someone is, and then she shows up on campus and she ends up being the 2nd region freshman of the year in program history. So it's a heck of a find by Coach Collier and her staff. 15-10 Miami here in set 2. Jump serve from Kayla Kaiser. It's a swing from Lauren Tarnoff, and hits the net.
Yeah, and that's one of those freshman miscues that you're probably going to have a little bit. I thought the set was pretty good, but Tarnoff, she just over-rotated a little bit with those hips, and that's why that ball was kind of straight into the net, straight down into the net, rather than a little bit of a higher contact.
Blocked by Grieve, and she's fired up, rightfully so. Her second block, only player on either team with multiple blocks.
Yeah, and great timing by the freshman, really just getting up and over. And what I love on that play, too, is they went back to Tarnoff. And she didn't get the kill on that first one, but I love seeing the confidence from the setter that's saying, hey, you just made an error. We're going to go back to you. Again, not getting the kill, but then another freshman, Grieve, coming up big time with that stuff block.
Dowd dug out by Hernandez. Vox sets Lukianova, and when she has time and space, it's just about an automatic point.
Yeah, just able to turn down the line, and she just sees the court so well. And, you know, talking to Coach yesterday prior to the match, you know, she's really matured, and you can see that with her shot selection. It doesn't always have to be this big.
That has not been the case early on this season. A point once again for the Hurricanes. It's a new year, and Michelle Collier knows it. She said, just because we were great last year, just because we had an excellent season, does not mean it's going to carry over to this year. And she didn't seem to feel that her players were overly confident. Not necessarily saying that is the case, but there's just that difference. You saw again, they played 6 matches against this pod last year. 5 of them were sweeps. But there's just so many moving factors, not just in volleyball, but in the world this year.
Yeah, and it's just so hard, and she always talks to her team about control the controllables, right? We talked about that early. We're talking about it now, and there's just so much going on. And again, it's not just stuff that's happening on the court, and of course, they want to make adjustments here and see that change. But so much has happened from, you know, once they won the NIVC last December to now, and that we're seeing, you know, a group of athletes that it's pretty much this entire team. Of course, you talked about, you know, they lost a really strong player to graduation, but we're seeing a little bit of that, like, first time jitters on the court, where normally you'd have maybe a little bit of a weaker opponent, certainly not a conference opponent, to start right off the bat, and here they go. Lukianova there with a big swing cross court. You knew we were going to talk about her all night, and here she is, just finding her way around the block wherever she is on the court. Right now, 9 kills, hitting a 727. I mean, again, Georgia Tech had a game plan against her. They knew that she was there. She's certainly not a secret at 6'6", but she's just still able to get it done. The
last 2 serves from Miami have both been errors. One before that was an ace. So it's been all or nothing for the Hurricanes of late from behind the line. Georgia Tech will try to get back a whole lot right now, down by 7 and in jeopardy of falling into a 2-0 hole.
Vok with good coverage there on the block, helping keep that play alive. But again, a double call there. But I love to see that from the setter. You know, sometimes we talk about setters and maybe their inability to play defense, but Lukianova with a big swing. Georgia Tech had the block there, but you know, as a setter, just getting in and covering that block gives your attackers so much confidence that they're able to just keep swinging aggressive.
Michaela Dowd will serve for Georgia Tech. Had a great season a year ago with 9 double-doubles.
And Dowd, honestly, is quietly having a really great match herself right now. I know Georgia Tech is really trying to get things moving, but Dowd hitting a 600. Lukianova, again, just getting inside of that block. And, you know, normally I might say that set was a little bit inside, but it seems purposeful. The Georgia Tech block keeps coming all the way out towards the pin, and it leaves that wide open for Lukianova just to drop her elbow and drop her shoulder inside of that block.
Back row kill for Brambilla. She's really comfortable back there, uses that athleticism and leaping ability to her advantage. Maddie Tippett will serve now. Colony volley slams it down. It comes right back to her. Both ferocious swings, neither one results in a kill. Great job by Georgia Tech. Back and forth we go. McKissick sets Bergman, and she puts it away.
Bergman again, just getting a lot of jumps right now, trying to get her feet in position to take good swings and train way back. So she took a little bit off of that swing and just able to find the Miami block to score.
427 kills a year ago for Julia Bergman as Miami tacks on yet another point, 22-16.
Yeah, Janice Leal with a great swing, going to right back, just taking a hard swing right at Michaela Dowd. She can't, it's kind of right at her chest, so she can't really get under the ball too much, and Leal just really showing what she can do in her young sophomore campaign.
Another back row kill from Brambilla. She led this team in kills per set last year, second in total kills, 3.6 and 392 respectively.
Yeah, the back row attack really working for Georgia Tech. Miami's only putting one blocker up for the back row attack. So Brambilla really, depending on where the ball placement is, she has a lot of court to work with, and she's finding the floor every time.
Layout dug out by McKissick. Bergman. Leal got a hand on it, but it didn't have a teammate there, and it's a point for Georgia Tech. Jackets chipping away, have the deficit down to 4.
Yeah, we're seeing Bergman not necessarily being able to take the big swings that she's used to, but she's really finding success off the Miami block right now. Her last 2 kills have come from touches just off the block, so she's really using the hands to try to be able to get her team back into this set.
Bit of a miss hit on the initial service received by Angela Grieve, but a mistake on the other end by Brambilla, and Miami's 2 points away from a 2-0 lead over one of the top teams in the ACC. At least projected.
Yeah,
no one's really played
that
yet.
Swing's not characteristic at all from Brambilla to really see her that ball was outside of her attack box and really just trying to force something that isn't there is uncharacteristic for her.
Emily Damon sets Angela Grieve, and it's another point for Miami. They'll have 6 set points.
I mean, we knew what we were going to see from Lukianova coming into this match, but Grieve has really been impressive to me. The freshman swinging aggressively, finding the hands of the Georgia Tech block there. She just is playing fearless right now as a freshman, and probably the best thing, she's been fearless, but she's also been low error. And that's, you know, to see a freshman not make many mistakes is awesome, especially in an opening match.
Brambilla having a strong second set, her 7th kill of the night, go along with 4 digs and a block. She keeps Georgia Tech alive for now. We'll need to get on a bit of a run here with Bergman serving. Had 64 aces last year, so she's who Georgia Tech wants back there in this spot. Dowd swings. Brambilla tips it over. Another one from Dowd, dug out by Hernandez. Vach, Grieve blocked. Nice recovery by Damon. And Georgia Tech stays alive once again.
And Georgia Tech with some great defense there. A couple good pickups by libero Maddie Tippett and a block in there as well. Georgia Tech's going to have to continue to make those really strong defensive plays if they're going to get back into this one.
Mentioned Bergman's 64 aces last year, over half an ace per set. Both those numbers, not surprisingly, led the ACC. As good as it gets from behind the line. Certainly more than just a server, though. We've talked about her ability as an attacker. Second in the league in points and kills last year, too. Serve goes to Damon, who handles it well. Kalaniuvalu, was it in? It was! Miami takes set 2. Lukianova with a match-high 10 kills through 2 sets. She is hitting .714. Janet Kalaniuvalu hitting .545 with 6 kills on 11 swings. It has been all Hurricanes in the early going. Well, I guess it's not that early anymore. It's 2 sets. It feels a little early because we've just flown through these 2, but Miami has made quick work of Georgia Tech.
And even when you look on the Georgia Tech side, I mean, they're hitting a .233, which isn't bad. The problem is they just can't get going what they want to in terms of getting the ball to the players that they want to and putting them in good situations, just because they're struggling a little bit with that first ball contact. And then again, when you flip it to the other side and you have a team like Miami who is on fire right now, playing probably some of the best volleyball they can play, that's going to be the 2-0 result that we see.
Michaela Dowd blocked at the net by Tarnoff. It goes out of bounds, point for Georgia Tech. 51 of Georgia Tech's 60 attacks in the first 2 sets came from 3 players in Dowd, Brambilla, and Bergman. Brambilla and Bergman both hitting exactly 211, so just one of that big 3 was really going strong offensively for the Jackets through 2 sets. Miami, on the other hand, has 5 different players with at least 7 swings, 4 of them in double figures, so just different feels offensively.
And Georgia Tech is known for having their balance, really getting a lot of players involved. We talk about all the accolades that these players have had, whether it's all ACC, all region, but because of their passing issues that they're having right now, they're having to really focus in on a couple players, and then those players aren't playing well themselves, so that's just compounding on itself.
So what's the solution to that? Because clearly if Georgia Tech wants to come back in this match, it needs to find one.
Yeah, and I think they just need to settle down back there. The passers just really have to get into their routine, take a breath. Miami's doing a great job. They're really aggressive behind the service line, and that's what's creating all the problems for Georgia Tech. You know, Miami's going to have their kills in transition like we just saw there, but if the passers can really settle down, back to the basics. You know, they've been working on that this entire preseason, this entire training camp. They really have to focus on that first contact so they can do what they need to do offensively.
3-1 start in set 3 for Miami. A big boost for the Hurricanes in the preseason this year has just been the amount of people that they have, quite literally. Miami, the last few years, has been ravaged by injuries, and Ken Ogandara was just happy to have a lot more bodies in practice, and maybe that is one of the big reasons that's helped Miami early, just getting more regular practice as the attack goes long there 3-2. You see all those bodies lined up and available for Miami was not the case the past few years.
Yeah, I'm sure it's great to have everybody back and be somewhat in full force. Of course, they do have some players that are inactive, but they just have more available to them if needed. But when you have, you know, a freshman like Angela Grieve come out and play and have the match that she's having, you might not need to go to your reserves on the bench. Right,
Miami has not substituted much, nor has Georgia Tech for that matter. There you see, look at this team, really young is Miami. 11 players who are freshmen or sophomores, and even one of those sophomores in Taylor Burrell has played 6 sets in her career because of injuries. I mean, this is a team that doesn't have a lot of experience. You contrast that with Georgia Tech, which is filled with returning players. Although Georgia Tech, it should be noted, does have just 1 player who's played 3 full seasons of college volleyball. Much closer start to this 3rd set than the first couple. 4-3 Hurricanes. Dowd will serve. Naperville Sun Player of the Year as a senior at Media Valley High School in the Chicago area. Lukianova with a rare miss.
Yeah, and back-to-back errors at that for Lukianova, which, you know, obviously we've talked about coming in this. She had no errors in this set, so getting off to a little bit of a slow start for her.
Three in a row she's unable to put away, although that one not an error. And slammed home by Erin Moss, the sophomore middle blocker from Valdosta.
Yeah, good ball in transition there, and again getting another player involved for Georgia Tech, which is what they want. They want to have that balanced offense and be able to go to others. And Erin Moss with a nice jump. She's long. She's got a nice high reach.
We got a timeout called by Miami. We'll take a timeout ourselves. Georgia Tech 5, Miami 4, set 3 at the night. Georgia Tech off to a nice start in the 3rd set after falling behind early in each of the first 2. Lukianova is nearly dug out by Brambilla from the back, but just too strong a swing from the redshirt senior. Got 5.
Yeah, out of the timeout, you really kind of just expect Miami to want to get things going, and if you want to do that on the Miami side, Lukianova is probably your best bet.
Bergman with a point for Georgia Tech. A little bit of a seesaw battle early going. Miami jumped out to strong starts in the first 2 sets, so a nice recovery from Georgia Tech after the intermission to change that around. As you see Bergman notch her 7th kill of the night, 8th, I beg your pardon.
And Bergman finding her groove here a little bit late. Again, maybe a little bit of a slow start for the sophomore, but just finding a way to manufacture points, some off-speed shots going high off the Miami block to get her team back into this.
Brambilla is just so good from the back. An impressive job. She just uses that leaping ability so well.
And Miami here, I mean, they even tripled it. So I talked earlier that they were really only getting one blocker up. That's a really smart play by Brambilla to identify that if you have all 3 blockers up, they're vacating space. So if those front row players come in to block, basically tipping the ball to where they came from should give you a little bit of success, and she found the holes there.
Porto Alegre, Brazil native, was top 8 in the ACC and top 130 in the country last year in kills per set, points, and points per set. 2-time All-ACC academic team as well, so a strong student too. Something Georgia Tech's quite familiar with, one of the top schools in the country. Liao with the block, but it went wide, and it's a point for Georgia Tech. Lukianoa just doesn't seem to be quite as on point in this third set.
Yeah, on that last swing, just unable to get her feet there, so she had to tip the ball a little bit. But yeah, she's, I wouldn't say struggling, but yeah, she's certainly maybe not as dominant as we had seen through the first 2 now. But I think just getting her involved a little bit in transition, not giving her the ball in every good situation. We know that she's going to be able to just score at will in those situations, but kind of, you know, finding the outlet and creating situations for her to just get right back in it.
Right, has gone from being otherworldly to just really good.
Right, correct.
Well, Brambilla had to adjust there so she didn't trip over a teammate. And Angela Grieve goes cross-court. Tippett digs it out. From the back, it is Dowd. Was it touched? It was. It's a point for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Tech having a lot of success, whether it's Brambilla, it's Dowd, whomever's back there. They're really having that success from the back row. And, you know, as we go on in this set, we might see them utilize that a little bit more, but we'll have to see what adjustments Miami might be able to make to try to better defend that play.
Here's Bergman from behind the line again, the best server in the ACC. Goes to Grieve. Vok sets Kalaniu-Valu, who's blocked. McKissick to Bergman. Hernandez to Kalaniu-Valu, and she gets the kill.
And smart play there by Kalaniu-Valu. She identified that Tippett was a little bit deeper than she normally is, ready to defend the hard shot, and she just finds a spot right over the block there that neither Tippett or Brambilla was able to get to.
Kalaniu-Valu in her second year at Miami after transferring from Southern Utah, second team All-Big Sky a couple years ago. Led the league in kills per set her final season with the Thunderbirds, if I'm not mistaken. And a point for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Brambilla just with a great swing there. I thought it went off the hands initially from the Miami block, but didn't hit the blocker's hands at all. She really just was able to turn that ball down towards the line in front of the Miami defender.
Nice serve. Hernandez able to corral it. Dropped over. Now Miami's got a good opportunity on the other end. And here once again, although a bit of a mishit by Vok. Here's Dowd. Nice dig by Damon. Ball hit the ceiling, it looked like. Longest rally of the third set so far. And the point goes to Georgia Tech. It does seem like these long rallies have mostly gone Georgia Tech's way for whatever reason. There just haven't been a lot of them, which is why Miami's been able to have the lead despite that.
Yeah, Georgia Tech is just really scrappy defensively, and I think that's why when it gets into a long rally situation, they're having success just because they're able to keep the ball alive until one of their players can find the floor there. You know, Brambilla just able to tip and just get a little piece of the block there. But, you know, I think in those long rally situations, we're really seeing a trend towards Georgia Tech's way. I wouldn't say that's anything that might have to do with conditioning or anything like that, but they're winning those points out. Right,
just kind of is what it is, whether there's a long explanation for it or not. Point went to Miami with double touch called on Georgia Tech. And Kalaniu-Valu, again, one of the better servers on this Miami team. 32 aces, the most amongst Hurricanes in 2019. Not an ace there, but a good serve sets Miami up well. And Angela Grieve puts it away.
Yeah, she just has such an aggressive serve, Kalani Ivalu. Again, getting the touch off the block there. Oh, no, Grieve. Actually, there was no touch there, just a nice, sharp swing. This freshman's really been impressive. She's still a couple errors, but still hitting a 292. And she just, again, to come in as a freshman and play all 6 rotations, she has a lot of poise. She's been low error so far. For me, she's been the most impressive player, surprise player, I should say, for this match.
Completely agree, and there she is again. Grieve now with double-digit kills. She's got 10 kills. She's hitting right about 300 in assists, a couple aces, 2 digs, 3 blocks. A debut that she's sure to never forget. (11-11). Miami has worked its way back to even in this set 3. Another big jump serve from Kalani Ivalu goes to Bergman. Dowd with a swing, Dowd with a kill.
Yeah, Dowd off the block again. She's really been scoring a lot of her points on that pin, doing just as she did, just taking advantage of the Miami blockers' hands. They're not super disciplined out there. I think their timing's okay, but their hands are not super disciplined. And the Georgia Tech, both outsides are really taking advantage of that.
Dowd with 10 kills, hitting 450 on the night. Nice dig there by Kalani Ivalu in the back. But a double touch was called, looks like. And the point will go to the Jackets, 13-11. Kill goes to Erin Moss. And a mistake from Bergman, her 4th error of the night.
Yeah, Georgia Tech just wanting to use that back row attack. I think they're identifying that they're having the success, maybe forcing it a little bit in that instance. Bergman did not have her feet in a good position to be able to take a big swing at that ball, and we saw the miscue happen there.
Point for Georgia Tech. The Jackets last year led the ACC and finished top 15 in the country in hitting percentage. Obviously, a large part of that was Cody Comby, but again, you look at the hitting percentage difference tonight. Miami at 375 and Georgia Tech at 284. Although the Jackets are hitting 429 in set 3, so when they can get to their offense, they are dangerous. And when Miami can get to Lukianova, it usually is dangerous, but she misses just wide there, and Georgia Tech has its largest lead in any set tonight.
And we're really kind of seeing the flip after the break where Lukianova has maybe cooled off a little bit, right? She kind of came back down to human form, making a couple errors, and we're seeing Georgia Tech maybe turn it up a notch a little bit in their offense. So that's why we're seeing a much closer score here.
Well, we might be down the street, but Lukianova must have heard us talking, and she comes up with a kill there, 15-13 Jackets. Again, if you're just joining us, we are off-site at Alex Rodriguez Park at Mark Light Field with a couple nice monitors set up in the press box. Only players and working personnel, no fans, quite the opposite, are allowed in to this match. Will be the case for all 4 home matches this season for the Hurricanes as it currently stands. A block at the net, a rare one on Lukianova.
Yeah, and McKissick really got in on that block. And when you see the small setter, she's only 5'9", but she just had great timing. And when you're 5'9" and you can block 6'6", I'm going to celebrate that pretty hard too. So
McKissick had 35 blocks a year ago. Not a huge number, but certainly not a low number for a 5'9" setter. Maddie Tippett will serve. Again, she switched into that libero role in the second set after Paula Laborda got the season-opening start in set 1. Nice job by Hernandez to run that ball down. Double touch called on Miami. Seen that a few times here in set 3, and Georgia Tech has used it to its advantage. 17-13 edge.
And they haven't all been on the setter. They haven't all been on Savannah Vach there. But, yeah, a little bit, sloppy with the hands. You've got to really get your feet set and in a good position so that you can play that ball. But we've seen a little bit of a mismatch, I'd say, with that call where we haven't really seen that go at all on the Georgia Tech side. But now, a few ball handling errors already on the Miami side.
Tip it back to serve again. Jackets trying to extend their largest lead so far, 17-13. Goes to Grieve. Vox sets Lukianova, and it's blocked once again. Tries the tip. And another point for Georgia Tech, 18-13. Wonder if Ken Ogundara is thinking about a timeout.
Yeah, mostly what we're seeing, too, Miami's really kind of forcing Lukianova right now, and I think Georgia Tech is doing a really nice job defensively defending her. Again, they understand that she's there. They know she's coming. They know that she's going to get the ball, and the blockers are doing a nice job getting set up. Their
first time, spent 2 years on a practice squad, promoted to the active roster, playing for the Jaguars against the Miami Hurricanes tonight. So a huge night for that couple, McDermott and Dill. I'm sure as soon as this is over, she will be rushing home to watch her fiance's NFL debut.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, especially after hard work in 2 years, was able to get it done. That's awesome.
And of course, I meant that it's against the Miami Dolphins. If the Miami Hurricanes played the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Canes are 2-0, they're ranked in the top 15, but you get a college team against an NFL team.
Yeah,
I don't know that's going.
Especially
so well.
With some Minshew mania, I don't know that they want to see that.
Point to the Hurricanes, trying to claw their way back here in set 3, 18-15.
Yeah, Lukianova being triple blocked there, so you can see that Georgia Tech has made some adjustments in how they deal with Lukianova, and she did the only thing that she could do in taking that ball outside the off blocker's hand.
Service error for Miami. Can't give away points this late in the set when you're trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, and that's that key, just managing the serve, where, early in the first 2 sets when they had a nice lead, they were able to keep and maintain the pressure on Georgia Tech. But now when you're down 4, you've really got to make some adjustments in what you're going to do. You still need to be aggressive behind the line, but you also can't have those misses.
Lukianova with a kill from the right side. And now she will go back to serve. Well, I don't have the exact number, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lukianova's number of total serves tonight just about matches her entire mark from last season. She basically did not serve. So credit to her for putting herself in a position where the coaches trust her to do that, although this time it does end with a point for Georgia Tech.
At Bergman again on the right pin. When she's over there, sometimes they like to just have her stay in that rotation to take that swing and just sharp cross court. And now she's back to serve.
Bergman can't quite come up with that ball. It's a point for Miami. Bergman, by the way, obviously the first match of her sophomore season, she has never left the court as a college volleyball player. She has been on the court for every single point of her career. You talk about coach having confidence in a young player, that's it.
Yeah, that's impressive. It's also, as a player, like you said, having confidence in the player, but also as the player realizing that I have a chance to work through some of my mistakes, right? So Bergman didn't have necessarily the best start, in sets 1 and 2, but she's really now kind of worked her way out of it. She's come alive and knowing that, hey, the coaches trust me enough to kind of figure this out myself.
And Georgia Tech as a team has started to figure it out. 21-17 lead in the third set. Did not even reach 21 points in either of the first 2 full sets. Serve from Kayla Kaiser. Haven't called her name that much tonight. Talented middle blocker for the Yellow Jackets. Point for Miami. Georgia Tech thought that one was was long. And the officials did not agree.
Yeah, that one was certainly close, but the officials right there, the line judges, they are right there. So, I think that was probably a good call, but it was certainly close.
Kalani Valu serving for Miami. And Angela Grieve with the block on Brambilla. Her 4th block of the night. Let's see it again.
Yeah, such a great block for the freshman. Perfectly timed, jumping. and she's just doing a great job, hands pressed over the net. And again, the timing can be difficult, but she is there, she is up, and really it's a double freshman block. Tarnoff in there too, getting the credit at a crucial point for Miami.
And a timeout was taken. We're not actually there to definitively tell you, but I would certainly imagine that the kind that Georgia Tech is keeping as the Jackets charge in front 22-19 here in set 3 out of the timeout. Brambilla to serve. Emily Damon to Savannah Vach, who dumps it over. Here's Grieve, Miami with a couple quick attacks. Grieve blocked. Hernandez, Vach, Kalaniuvalu from the back. And it's a point for Georgia Tech.
And Michaela Dowd again off the block. If we went back and looked at every single swing she's had tonight, I bet most of her 11 kills have come off of the Miami block. She's really doing a great job. She has control. You can see with her hand and her wrist the way she's moving it around to control the ball and score points off of the somewhat undisciplined Miami block. They've really got to turn their hands inside the court to control that a little bit more.
Dowd hitting 500 tonight, second best mark on either team. Only player with a better number is actually Lauren Tarnoff, the Miami freshman middle blocker, whose number was at 545, now down to 500. So they are the same mark now. And it is set point for Georgia Tech. They'll have 5 opportunities to put it away. Michaela Dowd needs just 1. And Georgia Tech extends this match to a 4th set, 25-19. We'll take a quick break here on ACC Network. Tell you all you need to know about set 3. Look forward to set 4 when we come back. Impending doom about fall sports when the Big Ten and Pac-12 canceled football and all fall sports, and then some conferences stuck it out, some didn't. There's no right, there's no wrong. It just is what it is. And then as leagues have started to play, some other sports started to come back. Big Ten is back in football, and the Pac-12 reports have come out during this broadcast that the Pac-12 will play football this fall as well.
And obviously the NCAA, we talked about the protocols. They want to be safe in what they're doing. And I think that, with all of these guidelines that they have in place, these athletes go through testing multiple times a week, and those things are happening. So I think if we can keep these athletes safe, then, of course they put in so much time, they put in so much work. They want to be on the court playing.
2-0 Georgia Tech with Bergman serving, and a credit to the ACC for all the protocols it's put into place. And Ken Ogandara, when we spoke the other day, mentioned how much credit he gives. Actually, the first thing he said on our call was how much credit he gives the Miami administration for everything that it has done to make sports possible. I think that's pretty much the case all across the ACC landscape.
Yeah, absolutely.
2-1 Georgia Tech as Miami gets on the board in set 3. Janet Kalaniuvalu will serve first for the Hurricanes. And she went over the line.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't normally, see that from her. That's something that she practices over and over again. But yeah, that was a clear step on the service line there, which of course is a fault and an automatic point to Georgia Tech.
Nice serve. That leads to a point for Miami.
A great swing from the freshman Lauren Tarnoff. I don't know that the slide is necessarily her best attack or her go-to attack, but she's really found a way to score points with it tonight, getting all the way around and finding that small seam that she had on the outside of the block and finding the court.
Serve goes to Bergman. Brambilla with a cross-court kill.
Yeah, a little miscue there by freshman Angela Grieve. She was in a good position, but, just kind of jumped the ball early and the ball slipped through her hands. So that's something, of course, as you get into the season a little bit more, you get experience, those plays won't happen as much, but we just see that freshman miscue.
Nice dig by the Jackets. Michaela Dowd tips it over. Good recovery by Kalaniuvalu, and Lukianova has herself get another kill. That is number 15, extending her match lead.
I wasn't sure tonight when she stepped on the court, seeing she's got a big wrap around her, what is her attacking hand, and, unsure if that would really affect her at all. And I'd say looking at the numbers, she's doing all right for herself.
She certainly is. Hitting 367. Point for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Dowd again off that Miami block again. If we went through and put together, clips of all of the swings that she has just used and abused that Miami block time and time again.
Savannah Vox sets Elizaveta Lukianova. Quality dig from Tippett. Cross court, Dowd misses wide. And it's a point for the Hurricanes. Slice the deficit in half. And it's an ace for Savannah Vox. By the way, you saw that close-up BLM statement on Michaela Dowd. It's great to see athletes using their platforms to support important messages and things that are important to them and important to society as a whole. And both these teams were wearing shirts before the match, Black Lives Matter, equality, unity, and a few of the players have Black Lives Matter on their nameplates. Some have it on their masks, and it's great to see young people in America using their platforms, on national television to make stances that are important to them and are important to many people.
Absolutely, and talking to the coaches too, they said it's so important for these athletes to be able to have a platform and be able to, voice their opinions and really speak, but also that both teams are so hopeful for the future as well, and just to see, what everything is going through when you talk about COVID and social injustice, but they're so hopeful for what is the future.
6-5 Miami as the Canes have charged in front here. And just like that, back to 6-all.
And utilizing the 10-6 jump of Erin Moss there on the slide attack. When she's out there, and that was a faster tempo than what we've seen earlier from her, it's going to be hard to get a good block up there, and we saw the result of that nice slide attack from Erin Moss.
Moss, the sophomore from Valdosta, Georgia, was a top 100 recruit and a 3-time All-State pick at Volleyball School. And Georgia Tech is back in front 7-6. Maddie Tippett will serve. The only player on the roster from Atlanta proper is Tippett. Went to St. Pius X High School. Swing from Bergman, blocked at the net by Janice Lee. Elizaveta Lukianova was in there as well.
Yeah, we're seeing that matchup between Bergman and Lukianova there, getting her hands up early on the 6-5 outside. And when you've got, again, 6-5 battling 6-6, it's such a great matchup that you have over there. Normally, you might have that size in a right side, not always the size of 6'6", but usually you have taller athletes out there, but not always on the outside pin to have a 6'5" Julia Bergman.
Nice job by Angela Greaves to get to that ball and even get it over the net. But it's no matter as it's a point for Georgia Tech, as Lukianova couldn't get there on the back end.
Yeah, but we see Bergman has really gone to more of the placement swings, right? So that first swing was really tight to the net. It was a great dig by freshman Angela Grieve, but then in transition, the ball went right back to her, and Bergman really just trying to take it up and over the block down the line. So we're not seeing her normal play. It's usually just a little bit of a faster tempo. She's taking hard, aggressive swings, and right now she's just using more of that placement.
Tied up 8-8. We haven't talked about her much tonight. Priscilla Hernandez, the Miami libero, has put together quietly a very good evening for the Hurricanes. Has a career high in assists with 5, and she's 2 shy of her career high in digs. Currently has 13. She has twice reached the 15 mark, so a heck of a way to start the junior season for Hernandez, who initially committed to Miami, by the way, as a goalkeeper for the soccer team.
Well, that's an interesting fact. I didn't know that.
A tremendous athlete. She was the Miami Herald Athlete of the Year in Dade County coming out of high school. A honor that her sister, Sylvia, who also played volleyball at Miami, also achieved when she was in high school. It's a tremendous family of athletics. Both parents played sports at Miami. And Julia Bergman, by the way, has gotten awfully hot for Georgia Tech, and she will return back behind the service line with a 10-8 lead She's up to 13 kills, and after that slow start she had, that's impressive.
I don't know how much soccer really translates to volleyball. Sometimes, you can talk about other sports and how they translate, but also having the defensive mindset of a goalkeeper and defending the net, and obviously here doing that for the Canes in the back row.
Three-point lead for Georgia Tech early in the third set. Make it a 2-point lead. It's a kill for Lauren Tarnoff. She's got 9 in her first collegiate match.
Yeah, she's been really impressive too. I think she's got a nice high volleyball IQ, and you can tell she's getting used to that faster speed of the game a little bit. Her slide isn't necessarily overly fast, but she's got a good arm swing, and she's, again, like you said, 9 kills, so she's been able to find the floor.
Here's a kill for Kayla Kaiser, who's had a quiet day for Georgia Tech for the most part. She's actually hitting at a negative percentage prior to that swing, but Kaiser is awfully talented. Second team All-ACC and All-ACC academic team last year, former top 125 recruit from Louisville, Kentucky. Hernandez to Grieve. Block at the net, a point for Georgia Tech, starting to create some separation in the third set, 13-9.
And another long rally win situation for Georgia Tech, but I will say Georgia Tech had opportunities early in that rally, including a free ball that they weren't able to score on, but here, nice timing with their block, getting up early on the Miami side. And again, another long rally. We see Georgia Tech winning it out.
The ace for Georgia Tech, that was awfully close. It goes in, it's a point to Georgia Tech. It's a timeout for Miami, and it's a break for us. Georgia Tech 14, Miami 9.
Yeah, and that's tough too. It's on the sideline of the bench, so they feel like they've got a good angle on that ball too. Obviously, we're in the baseball stadium, so we can't totally tell, but looked like it was close and probably could have gone either way.
Yeah, our view of that call was exactly what your view of that call was, folks. 15-11 Georgia Tech.
But I love that they went right back to Dowd, having that close call again. Maybe it was in, maybe it was out, but that next play going right back to her. First ball, side out, she's able to put that ball away.
Lukian Nova with the swing. Here's Michaela Dowd. Hernandez gets there, some miscommunication, and she can't knock it over. Georgia Tech 16, Miami 11.
And Dowd was a player, early I felt like we weren't talking about much. We were saying, well, yeah, she wasn't part of, the first team All-ACC. She wasn't part of the trio. She was a second team All-ACCer, but man, she has really come alive. And I say quietly, but she's got 16 kills and she's hitting a .433. So she has really done a lot for this Georgia Tech offense. Could
certainly make a case she's been the best player on the court tonight, two-time second team All-ACC performer. Moss tips it and gets the point for Georgia Tech. And Ken Ogandra looks like he might be calling timeout, or is he asking if the ball was not tipped? Either way, he's having a chat with the official. Normally we'd be right there to hear it.
Yeah, I think the ball itself was actually out of bounds, but the line official called that there was a touch on the block, and I think Miami's block is saying, yeah, I certainly touched that.
Tip it. Sets Dowd, who's blocked by Tarnoff. Savannah Vach was over there as well.
Yeah, we talked earlier about Tarnoff getting used to the speed, and while laterally, I think again she is improving in that area. She does have a good volleyball IQ, so she's kind of putting herself in a good situation anyway to kind of make up for that speed. Which again, she's just a freshman, so that's going to improve over the next couple years.
18-12 Georgia Tech. Brambilla once again from the back row, but it's a point for Miami.
Yeah, Brambilla was over the line big time on that play. I love that they're going to the back row, but you can see clearly her foot on the line. It's okay that she's in front of that 10-foot line or the 3-meter line after she jumps, but she can't take off on the line or in front of the line.
Point for Georgia Tech, inching towards forcing a 5th and final decisive set. And it's McKissick with the dump.
Yeah, smart play, really deceptive. You can see she's still setting up with her shoulders square to her attacker, and she turns at the last minute, and she's catching Liao off guard. As a middle blocker, you've got to pay attention to that setter to make sure they aren't going to turn on two and put that ball over the net.
Liao with a swing and a kill. Miami not going away just yet, but certainly has a lot of work to do as Georgia Tech, ever since the intermission, has flipped the switch and gotten on a roll here.
Yeah, we're really seeing it. They've settled down. They've controlled their errors. We saw them make a ton of errors in the first 2 sets, and now we're seeing what the offense is really capable of doing when they're firing on all cylinders.
The ball was touched. Will be a point for Georgia Tech. And it was who else but Brambilla from the back.
Yeah, and you can see she kind of just turned that left foot slightly. She's close to that 10-foot line, but this is something that she's done over and over. They practice, so she had good court awareness there and was able to get a nice swing out of it.
Vach with a nice recovery there, and it leads to a point and a kill for Angela Grieve.
And Grieve has showed a lot of fire too. I felt like when we talked on the call, you know, Coach talked about that she was maybe, you know, a little more poised and wasn't necessarily fiery, but from what we've seen tonight, she's had some big kills and she's excited about it, as I would be too in a freshman campaign.
Yeah, poised was definitely a word that Ken Ogondera used, as well as mature, and I guess, you know what, you can be poised and mature as well as fired up, and Angela Grieve is doing just that. She's having a college debut to remember. Emily Damon can't quite get her hands on that ball, and Georgia Tech is within 4 points of forcing a 5th.
Yeah, we're seeing Kaiser again. We haven't seen a lot from her tonight, but taking a big swing there, just moving around that Miami block, and like you said, Damon just not able to get her hands on it.
Free ball for Georgia Tech. Nice job by Hernandez. Grieve with a tip. In comes McKissick to keep it alive. And Grieve add another kill to the redshirt freshman's total. Give her a baker's dozen.
She's just very smart with what she does. I think that's what I've been most impressed with. She understands the swings that she can take. She knows her range. So if there's an area and she's got a split in the block, she's going to take that nice hard swing. But if she doesn't have it, she can create good situations for herself by taking it off speed. We've seen her tip. We've seen her hit down the line. She really has great range as an outside hitter.
Ball was touched by a Hurricane at the net. It'll be a point for Georgia Tech. 22-16, and barring a late comeback, this match seems destined for a 5th set. And 2 points away now as Grieve with an error. Dowd, Brambilla, and Bergman, all with nearly identical attack totals. 33 for Dowd, 35 for Brambilla, 36 for Bergman.
Geographically, they get a chance to play volleyball, which right now all conferences aren't doing that. So I think everybody just wants to take advantage of the opportunities that they have. And again, coming in this match, we certainly didn't expect Miami to jump up 2-0 on Georgia Tech. So who knows, Syracuse and Boston College could have the same fate against one of those tough teams in their pod as well.
7 set point chances now for Georgia Tech to send us to a 5th, 24-17. And it'll be Mariana Brambilla back behind the line. We're going to do the honors for Georgia Tech. Jump serve from the junior. Luciano keeps Miami alive. Kill number 17, one shy of Dowd's match lead.
Yeah, Miami in a situation where, you know, every point matters at right where they are, and Lukianova obviously is going to be the automatic call for them. Even though Georgia Tech knew that Lukianova was probably going to get that first ball, it was just in a great placement, great set by Savannah Vaught, and Lukianova is going to be able to find the floor.
Priscilla Hernandez going to need to get a run on, going to get a run here from behind the service line. Had 17 aces last year. Tied for 5th on the team. She's with the dig there. Dowd for the set. Hernandez is there. Off the ceiling. Lukianova gets it over the net. And there it is. Michaela Dowd sends us to a 5th and final set. Georgia Tech takes the 4th, 25-18. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the decisive 5th set to determine this season opener between the Hurricanes and the Yellow Jackets. Angela Grieve will serve for the Hurricanes to open this 5th and final set. She's had herself a fabulous collegiate debut. And we are underway again. If you're not familiar with college volleyball here, the 5th set is to 15, not 25. So a bit of a condensed final set. The team that has won the first point has won the set in each of the first 4. So if that holds, would bode well for Georgia Tech.
And unlike from what we would normally see, these teams will not switch sides at 8 points due to COVID protocol. So they're still going to stay on their same side of the net, even though normally we would see that midway switch.
Right, and haven't switched all night even due to cleanliness and sanitation, keeping everyone on the same benches. 1-1 early here, and if Miami is going to get this 5th set, it needs Lukianova with more plays like that.
Yeah, really just getting the block of Mariana Brambilla and just taking that inside hand. Lukianova, I mean, she is just strong. She is physical. She can muscle her way through that block.
Priscilla Hernandez will serve for the Hurricanes. Lukianova hit 273 last year, by the way. She's at 342 tonight. It's been a superb evening, but the numbers were just crazy through the first 2 sets, was hitting over 700. Serve goes to Bergman. McKissick to Brambilla. It's dug out by Grieve. Free ball for Georgia Tech. It's misplayed in the back by Bergman, and Miami takes a 2-1 lead.
And Georgia Tech rightfully upset, I feel like, in that situation. Pretty much the entire, everyone on the Georgia Tech side, they stopped after the set from Lukianova, which to me really did look like a ball handling error and probably should have been called, but that's what led to that situation. But Georgia Tech has to continue to play and not just assume that you know that the call is coming. Again, you're in the 5th set. Every single point is super important.
And how about that job defensively by Miami? Just watch this again. Great play by Grieve, great play by Lukianova. Will look like a sure point for Georgia Tech. Goes the other way. It's 3-1 Canes in the 5th.
And Lukianova staying inside. She had Mariana Brambilla on the right side, so she really could have moved her block out a little bit, but just, again, that volleyball IQ, staying inside the court and being at the right place at the right time.
Dowd with a swing, Dowd with a kill. It's 3-2. Michaela Dowd has been fantastic for Georgia Tech. First player to 20 kills on the night. Hitting over 400, up to 421 now on 38 swings. Also has 5 digs.
Yeah, not only 20 kills, but just like you said, she's hitting a 405, which means she's just super efficient right now. She's been really low error, and again, most of her points have come off the Miami block, and she's just finding ways to score. Having 20 kills and a 4-error night as an outside is an impressive job, because she's taking a lot of swings and she's getting a lot of balls that aren't necessarily the best situation.
Well, her season high last year was 19 kills against North Carolina. She's got 20 in the first match of the year as a junior. So a career night for Michaela Dowd. Actually ties her career high overall, which came as a freshman against Virginia when she had a 20-20 night. Lukianova, not quite strong enough there. A big point here if the team's even at 3. And it's Georgia Tech that goes in front on the block by Michaela Dowd. 3 straight points for the Jackets.
And that is a great defensive error on 2 occasions. A great dig by Brambilla, and you see here, Michaela Dowd was left one-on-one. That's not how they drew it up, but when you're left there one-on-one, you just have to take the ball. She had great timing as a block and a huge momentum swing for Georgia Tech.
And Miami evens it right back up. It was, who else? Lukianova. She's got 19. We mentioned earlier, by the way, that Erin Moss was going to be called upon to replace Cody Cumbie, and she's quietly put together a superb evening for Georgia Tech. We haven't called her name much, but she has 7 kills, 4 blocks, and she's hitting .500. And her team is now ahead 5-4 in the 5th.
Yeah, as we see another kill there for Michaela Dowd, but that's Georgia Tech. That's kind of what their middles are just known to do. When they get their opportunities, they're really efficient about it. I know we haven't seen necessarily a lot from Kayla Kaiser tonight, but normally both of their middles are just efficient in what they do. When they get swings, they're in a good situation and they score points.
Also efficient, Elizaveta Lukianova, give her 20. Every time Dowd extends her lead in kills for the match, Lukianova inches closer. And again, something we did not see from her much throughout her career, but have seen from her a lot tonight. Lukianova will serve. And Priscilla Hernandez can't get to that ball. Nice tip.
Yeah, and a smart play by Brambilla in the back row. Again, just identifying Grieve came up to block. They put a triple block on the back row attack. So because she vacated that space, again, going to that side and finding the Miami floor.
Tippett will serve. Goes to Damon. Here's Grieve for the tie. She missed wide. And Georgia Tech leads by multiple points for the first time in the 5th set. If you're just joining us, the Jackets are trying to work all the way back out of a 2-0 hole. Miami took the first 2 sets in impressive fashion. It won't go away in the 5th. It's 7-6 Georgia Tech as service goes back to the Hurricanes.
And this is really the first set I feel like we've seen that's been back and forth. Really, either team has jumped out immensely in the first 4 sets, and that team has eventually won. But here we're really going back and forth. It's a tightly contested 5th set.
And into serve for Miami, it's Michalina Rolla. First time we've seen her, and the first appearance of her career, native of Poland. Free ball for the Jackets. From the back, Brambilla is blocked by Angela Grieve. It's 7-7.
And there's an instance where that triple block worked. You know, Georgia Tech has been going to the back row a ton. Good timing by Grieve. You saw her kind of take a hesitation step there. She wanted to wait and make sure she jumped at the appropriate time, and that's a big block for Miami.
Rolla to serve again, played for the Polish U18 and U19 national teams. And Georgia Tech goes in front 8-7, and we will go to break. When we come back, one of these teams will open up its season with a hard-fought victory. Michaela Dowd has been the star of the night for Georgia Tech, a match-high 21 kills, hitting .436. She's added 5 digs and a huge block earlier in this 5th set. And she has her Georgia Tech squad up 8-7 in the 5th and final set. And as a reminder, if you are tuning in expecting to see North Carolina, Virginia Tech, that match is currently on ACC Network Extra. As soon as we are done, it will come on right here. McKissick serving for Georgia Tech, up a point in the 5th. And make it 8-8. Back and forth we go. This has been, Kelly, an absolutely fantastic match. What a great way to open the season after such a long wait.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, the first couple sets were maybe dominated by either team, and that's what led us at a 2-2 split. But especially now in this 5th set, it's really been evenly matched and tightly contested by both teams. They're kind of minimizing their errors. Both teams have settled down in their first contact, and we're seeing some good volleyball play out right now.
Miami in front 9-8. And and take a timeout here. Georgia Tech will. It'll be interesting to see how this match plays out. It's been a thriller. Miami took the first 2 sets, Georgia Tech the next 2. Hurricanes lead 9-8 in the 5th. Janet Kalaniu-Valu is serving for the Hurricanes, and it's 9-9 as the timeout quickly pays dividends for Michelle Collier's bunch.
And smart play for Brambila. I mean, that was not a good ball for her. It was well behind her shoulder, and she just found a way to roll that ball right over the Miami block. And right now, it's important to be efficient, so you want to be smart with what you do and not make unforced errors. And
right on cue, there is an unforced error from Emily Damon to put Georgia Tech back in front.
Yeah, and we saw that's a tough ball, kind of bounced around in the ceiling, and that should be a situation where you have a little bit of home court advantage. You've probably tried that a little bit in training camp, but you don't necessarily know where that ball is going to go, and you saw there, that's an ace for Georgia Tech.
Can Miami answer? Kalaniu-Valu from the back with the tip. Here's Dowd. She goes cross court. Grieve is there. From the back again, Kalaniu-Valu dug out by Tippett. Back row, Bergman. Miami continues to feed Kalaniu-Valu, and Georgia Tech continues to recover defensively. Double touch called, and it's a point for Georgia Tech, 11-9.
Yeah, and we're seeing both teams really utilize that back row attack, whether they're in system, out of system, first ball, transition, they want to use it as much as they can, and they're having some success doing it.
Hours. 6 o'clock tomorrow night on ACC Network Extra, so right after this thrilling finish, one side will leave elated, one side will lead disappointed, and then they'll have to do it all over again tomorrow night against each other.
Yep, get some breakfast, scout them, watch some film, and do it over again.
Yep. And they'll have to do that 4 times each, not against each other, of course, but in this 5-team pod, it's going to be 4 separate back-to-backs. Bergman serves Damon. Kalaniu-Valu from the back. Nice dig for Georgia Tech. Hernandez keeps it alive on the other end. Greaves had a strong night, just tips it over there. A tip the other way. Here's a good chance for Grieve. Dowd is there. Miami currently without Lukianova on the court. Kalaniu-Valu from the back. It's dug out by Bergman. Here's Dowd, long rally. And it's going to go to Georgia Tech, 3 points away. The Jackets are ever so close to rallying all the way back from a 2-0 deficit.
And we see Georgia Tech again winning the long rally. But for me, what I noticed in that play, we have freshman Angela Grieve. She had 3 opportunities in transition swings, and I don't feel like she's taking very aggressive swings right now. So I don't know if, that freshman season, having this big pressure situation is getting to her a little bit. We see Lauren Tarnoff right there, a big swing for that freshman. So we have to see if they're going to come through and what their stance is going to be, how they're going to play here these next 5 points.
Miami trims the deficit back down to 2, and it'll have Angela Grieve serving. Hurricanes need to get on a bit of a run. Again, this 5th set only goes to 15, not 25. Lukianova adds another point for the Hurricanes. It's 12-11. This is just phenomenal volleyball, as exciting as it gets to begin the season on ACC Network.
Yeah, now could be the shift for Miami with Lukianova back in the front row. Obviously, this is what they want. This is the rotation that they want to be in, so I expect to see her take a lot of swings.
Free ball, Miami takes advantage of it. A dozen apiece. 3 straight points for the Canes. Just when it looked like Georgia Tech was going to charge its way to victory, Miami comes back with Lukianova on the court, and the Jackets take a timeout. What a thriller at the night. It's a shame there's no fans allowed in the place to watch it.
I think it would be pretty loud, certainly, if there were some fans there. Again, just seeing the 5th set back and forth. And again, you talked about the numbers playing really smart volleyball right now, playing even volleyball. Their attacking numbers are basically identical. But now with the Miami side having Lukianova back in the front row and able to pull it back, within points so that we have a 12-12 match here, I think these last couple points are going to be pretty exciting.
5 Hurricanes with at least 8 kills. And 4 of them are hitting at least 290. For Georgia Tech, 3 players with 14 plus, but 2 of them are under 250. Meanwhile, 52 assists for Maddie McKissick. That puts her into the top 10 in Georgia Tech history, and 53 assists for Savannah Vach.
Yeah, both setters, just like you talked about the numbers, they're doing a great job trying to balance their offense. I do think that that's been a struggle at times, again, depending on that first contact, but they're creating good situations for their attackers. And both teams, you know, they've had their ups and downs, but overall have very good hitting percentages for the match, and that's a lot of credit due to these setters for finding good situations for their attackers.
For Vach, by the way, that is the 6th 50 assist outing of her career, and in both of her season openers as a collegian, she's eclipsed 50, had 52 in her first match as a freshman. Friendly bounce off the net for the Hurricanes. Hernandez gets to that ball, but Miami can't make the most of it, and Georgia Tech goes in front, 2 points away with the serve. That was just not clean from the get-go for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and a little bit of a miscue. I like the decision that Vach made, you know, just trying to a quick one-handed set to Tarnoff, but again, they haven't worked together for so long. She is a freshman, so I think she just wasn't expecting that.
Great serve from Georgia Tech, but it's no matter. Again, if you give Lukianova time and space, she will get a point.
Yep, we knew that was coming for sure. And Georgia Tech, I mean, they have a good block set up. They were on time, but you know, you give Lukianova a little bit of space, that ball's going to find the ground.
Match high 22nd kill for the redshirt senior from Russia. One of 2 Europeans on Miami's roster. Actually, I'm pretty bad at geography, but I think Russia's in Asia. Never mind.
We'll give you a pass.
That's a bad time to have that mistake this late in the match. Match point for Georgia Tech. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen.
For sure.
Brambilla will serve for the match. 14-13 Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech making a blocking substitution there, getting McKissick out of the match really just to block Lukianova. They know the ball's going to her. They want to put up a big block just as you saw there.
Second chance for Lukianova. It's blocked again. And it lands out of bounds. 14-14. This match shouldn't end any other way than just like this. It'll be win by 2.
So you see the substitution goes back. So Maddie McKissick is now back in the game. Obviously, she needs to be in there to run the offense, but they made that defensive sub for that play.
Wow, a mistake on the return by Michaela Dowd, and now Miami with its first match point of the night.
And you can see immediately Michaela Dowd, she goes to her teammates. She said, it's my bad, I got that. So I expect her just to have a regroup. She gets a minute. You know, I'd expect Savannah Vach's going to put that ball right back on her. Michaela Dowd is the front row attacker, so you want to typically put the ball on your front row attacker to kind of get them, out of sync if you can. And obviously, Michaela Dowd is having a great night tonight.
Vach serving for the season opening upset. Dowd with the tip. Lukianova digs it. Can she put it away? It'll be Kalani Uvalu with the chance, and she does it for the Hurricanes. Miami upsets Georgia Tech to begin the college volleyball season. Kelly, quick final thought from tonight.
Just really impressive for Miami to come out and do what we kind of thought was the impossible. We thought Georgia Tech was the easy favorite here, and Miami just playing strong and made it happen here for this match.
Thank you to Andrew Firestein, James Davidson, Drew Thomas, everyone back in the studio, all our camera folks for all their hard work. For Kelly Cernsey, I'm Alex Schwartz. Final score,